We are beyond thrilled that RBC has renewed their sponsorship of the RBC Canadian Open, as well as the RBC Heritage. RBC is the single biggest investor in golf in Canada, and they continue to be prideful and supportive of the RBC Canadian Open, and always looking alongside Golf Canada for ways to grow and improve the event. Really, the rink being one of the main drivers of the tournament, and one that was an idea born by both Golf Canada and RBC in putting that together. Outside of the RBC Canadian Open, RBC is a major sponsor in all grassroots programs within golf in Canada, as well as our National Women's Open, the CPKC Women's Open. It was very difficult living through the COVID-19 pandemic, and I know everyone was dealing with it very challenging personally. So it's funny to think about golf tournaments, but having to cancel those two tournaments was very gutting for the organization. And when you want to put on a great show and give something for people to watch or people to enjoy, or kind of forget what's going on around them, not being able to was very challenging. But given the circumstances and the unprecedented times we were dealing in, it made perfect sense that it was just not going to work for us to put together a national professional golf tournament in those times. But what it did do for us is, when we did come back in 2022, and the four events that we've had since then have been record breaking for us, and really put us on a trajectory that we had never seen before. So in some ways, it's helped us as we've come out of the pandemic and kind of back into the normal life we have today. We'll talk about Nick Taylor's win. And I think when you talk about the drought that we had in men's Canadian golf, and not having a winner since the 50s, for Nick Taylor to win and break that streak in the fashion he did, and fourth playoff hole and 72-foot putt, and just how that all ended, it was incredible. And I think our marketing team always joked around that, a moment like that in Canadian golf, if we can't find a way to market this and celebrate it, then we're all in the wrong business. And they did an incredible job of putting that moment into mortality, and changing our logo, and now making Nick Taylor's moment a permanent memory within the RBC's Canadian Open's rich history. So it was good. It was kind of crazy when you think about a big change like that, to change a logo, but because that moment meant so much to everybody, RBC, Golf Canada, all of our fans, that the decision to make the logo was basically unanimous. Everyone was supportive of it, and we've got nothing but positive feedback from that. Yeah, I think the rink has been incredible for our tournament, and for a few reasons. One, it's really propelled the tournament into being more than just you're there to watch golf or follow the best golfers in the world. It really gives a place or a location at our tournament where fans can get a little more rowdy, get a little more loud, banging on the boards. The players have gotten behind it. They're wearing jerseys as they're playing, or trying to hype up the fans as well. So it's kind of become that one unique hole of the 18 where things are just celebrated, and the noise is just a little bit different, and the energy is just a little more fun. So it's really put our event on the map. I think not just for PGA Tour events, but all kind of sporting events in Canada, and really has become a must visit destination for those who attend the RBC Canadian Open in person, which has been great. The other thing it does for us is, as we move around to different venues, different golf courses throughout Canada, the rink comes with us. So while we're looking at a new golf course, if it's every other year or every year that we're hosting somewhere new, each course is going to have its own unique characteristics and places to watch and things to do, and all that kind of stuff. But the rink comes with us regardless of what golf course we're played at, and that's something that the fans know will be there, and something they can do at the RBC Canadian Open. Yeah, it's hard. There's never really like one story that's gonna, um, kind of set the stage. But I think it's always just exciting to see new fans coming in and to the tournament and being part of it. And you can tell who's been there before because they're sprinting to go to the rink or go to the range or do something like that. But it's those kind of new fans that are coming in looking, where do I go? What do I do? And it kind of goes back to the last question, but everyone has to see the rink, and you kind of feel it's got that same momentum as, yeah, when you go to WM, you want to check out the 16th hole. You go to Augusta, you want to go to Amen Corner and make sure you take that in, and that's kind of what the rinks become to us. So it's exciting to see kind of those new fans make their way to the rink and kind of get to experience it and have that eye-opening shot of the boards and the crowds and all the seats and everything around that hole. So always exciting to see when that comes through. Yeah, I think the Johnny Vegas back-to-back wins, both at Glen Abbey, were really special and ones that we certainly wanted to celebrate as we were going forward, and kind of used him in all of our marketing campaigns and celebrating the back-to-back, and can he go for a three-peat and those type of things. But I think what's interesting with the RBC Canadian Open and golf in Canada is we've had so many winners come from different countries where you've got Johnny Vegas representing the Latin America environment. Ryan Fox just won from New Zealand. Bobby Mack from Scotland. Nick Taylor's Canadian. Rory McIlroy, Northern Ireland. Like Jason Day, Australia. The list goes on and on. And each time that you have an international winner, you see the crowd, and there are people from their homeland and that speak their language and look like them and celebrating the win together. So it's funny that it's a Canadian National Open, but when we get an international winner, the fans that are surrounding the 18th green at the end of the day seem to be from that winner's country and celebrating with them. And it's always kind of a special moment to see a player celebrate with the fans in that nature. Yeah, I think touching on what the RBC Canadian Open means with being a national open and the partnerships that we have with Augusta National and the RNA has been really special. And I think allowing the RBC Canadian Open to be a pathway for players to get into the British Open through the Open qualifying series and being a top three non-exempt already to get through is something that helps with our field and driving people there, as well as winners getting into the following year's Masters is really good, and just shows that both of those national or those major championships view the RBC Canadian Open as a major event and one that they want to be part of their qualifying series. And we couldn't be more proud of the partnerships we have with both Augusta National and the RNA. Yeah, we're excited to return back to TPC Toronto in 2026, and I think just all the momentum that we had from 2025 and opening the course for the first time to professional golf was remarkable, and I think we're looking forward to kind of building on that momentum. And kind of it was nice to see the way the fans moved and operated around the golf course, and where we wanted to add more concessions and more washrooms and more fan activities, and the fans hang out at the rink more, did they hang out at the range more, like, so seeing all of that kind of stuff was really cool. And then being able to kind of take those key learnings and implement them right away into the following year is great. And the team at TPC Toronto is incredible. They're very excited to be hosting again in back-to-back years. So I think 2025 was such a special event for us, the second highest attended. We're going to look to break those records in 2026. That's a fun one. I don't I don't know if there's anything that I would trade a Tiger Woods win for the history of the RBC Canadian Open. I think not only it being Tiger Woods, the way that he had won with that shot on 18, the 6 iron from the bunker is just something that still lives in golf archives and is shown on TV today as one of his most iconic shots ever. So it's hard to take that away. And when you want to look at the storylines and what makes the RBC Canadian Open special, that Tiger shot is one of those, if not the most iconic moment, maybe second to Nick Taylor's now. So I think that's something that I don't know if I'd ever trade that away. The other thing, I guess, just one of our storylines is that it is a tournament that Jack Nicklaus never won. So trading a win, a hypothetical win for him, takes away that kind of storyline. And I think the Tiger moment's it's just so special and lives as one of the most iconic shots in his history that it'd be hard to ever take that one away.